The third thing we can do is we can start looking at electric cars.
Another jolt for the Volt, but is the famous plug-in now at risk of becoming a joke? Volt batteries catching fire. Now General Motors is catching heat. The bailed-out automaker in full damage control today after 2 government crash tests results in electric car fires. A federal investigation underway, and now GM will be offering loaner cars to any Volt owner who is worried. I wonder if they would just replace it with another Volt. Anyway, we'll get to the company statement in uno minuto. We've got a global warming skeptic, Mark Rano. I think we would say he's a skeptic, who wonders why the government is still spending billions on these plug-ins. But Mark, the government is, the supporters are. What do you make of this?
Well, this is amazing. These new fire concerns come on the heels of Duke Energy telling its customers not to use their home charging stations after a few suspicious home fires that originated in garages. So they're actually investigating the charging stations, the lithium-ion battery technology, and the problem is these batteries, when they're subjected to rollovers and other things, if they're not discharged, the battery becomes very unstable, and they said it's equivalent to having a full tank of gas in terms of a fire hazard. So they have a very serious problem on their hands, and if this weren't politically correct, you'd probably have Ralph Nader, on the front pages of every newspaper demanding investigations into this. But because it's a nice green technology, they're getting nothing but silence.
The third thing we can do is we can start looking at electric cars.
Ren loves his electric car, but others don't like what it costs them to help pay for it.
The average Volt purchaser's income is around $160,000, $170,000. This is a massive subsidy to people that really don't need it.
Economist James Hohman sees electric cars as a transfer of wealth from those who can't afford a $40,000 Chevy Volt or a $100,000 Fisker or Tesla Roadster to those who can.
Politicians love to get in front of something they think is the future. The problem is that they do it poorly, they waste money.
Right now the numbers don't look good when every new plug-in hybrid adds at least $10,000 to the federal debt. Hohman claims it's much more.
When calculated on a per-car basis, the volume of subsidies offered to this project is massive, and it amounts to up to $250,000 per vehicle sold.
Under my plan of a cap-and-trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
The third thing we can do is we can start looking at electric cars.
Clearly a bias, because the president had the ability to give it to anybody. So he could give it to green jobs even if that green jobs didn't happen, even if those green jobs went to China. He could do it for political, you see what we did, purposes. One example would be, you've got this Volt, Chevy Volt, and GE buys half of the total production, and we give $375 million of tax credits to make it pencil out for GE, even though it wouldn't pencil out in any other conceivable way, even including the advertising. Those are distortions where you say, do the American people really think that we should have put $375 million in subsidies into GE buying these electric cars so that everyone could make a statement about the future with a really bad car? I mean, this is a car that gets basically less than 30 miles per gallon.
The third thing we can do is we can start looking at electric cars.